This is this is Stephanie Gelinas from the Sandcastle. We'll be conducting an interview today. What do you do? Why do you do it? And how do you get involved?
Well, I'm the Executive Director of Sandcastle Clinical and Educational Services, and I also am a speech and language pathologist. So I opened this business almost 17 years ago, and my work here is really just as the Executive Director, but I also do some speech pathology. It's an agency that's grown tremendously. We opened in 1996. We served 12 families that year. And during the past 17 years, we've grown and grown to the point where now we have about 45 employees and we serve about 650 families annually.
Wow.
So that's what I do. Manage the agency. You know, really see to it that we're providing the best level of clinical services and educational services to families of our area. Yeah.
So what are the different divisions? I see you have is it a preschool or a child care center?
We have an early childhood education center, so we have 2 preschool classrooms and we have 2 pre-K classrooms. So we do early childhood education as well as special education. And that's we have 4 classrooms that operate throughout the year, and each classroom is staffed with a special educator and a regular teacher, or a typical teacher. And our classroom composition is half of the children who attend our program have some form of special needs, and the other half of the children who attend our program are typically developing, if you will, and they're here just accessing curriculum. And those classrooms are not only staffed with educators and special educators, but they're supported by clinical teams. So some of the other departments that we have at Sandcastle are we have a clinical services, which is occupational therapy and physical therapy. We have a speech and hearing center, so we have an audiologist as well as 10 speech and language pathologists. We have a mental health department, so we're able to provide some psychological services. And the philosophy behind Sandcastle is really that we believe that every child, regardless of ability or disability, is entitled to the same opportunity. We also believe that children should not be marginalized or segregated in any way, shape, or form. So the services that we provide are what we call inclusionary. So the clinicians work within the context of the classroom, never separating kids from their peers, but rather supporting them in a meaningful environment. We do a fair amount of that. We also do a fair amount of outpatient therapy. So families are coming in with their children throughout the day for different types of appointments. The last service that we added to our venue of services here at Sandcastle was audiology a few years back. And we have coined that department LA Hearing Center. We provide audiological services to all individuals, birth right up to the geriatric spectrum. So it's a busy place.
Yeah, it is a busy place. It's a nice place.
Thank you.
What do you think the challenges facing Lewiston Auburn from an organizational standpoint?
Well, you know, most of the people that I employ have a master's degree, sometimes a doctorate, at least a bachelor's degree. So these are people that are really trained to be doing the work that they're doing. And yet, as an agency, as a private agency, we are really simply just fee for service. And what that means is we only get reimbursed for the services that we deliver. We don't have a mother agency. We don't get any kind of supplemental funding from the government. So the challenge that comes with that is that there's a lot of rate setting, if you will, that goes on. And so we're really at the mercy of, regardless of what we're going to charge, this is what we're going to get reimbursed. So we need to do a lot of fundraising as an agency. We need to do a lot of grant writing as an agency. And we need to operate pretty lean as a private business, you know, because there are other state agencies out there that we are competing with. And so those are some of the challenges, yeah.
Do you have a hard time finding staff, or is it there's enough people around the area that find it passionate and that's why they're here?
We at this point are fully staffed. We could afford at this point to hire on. We just hired yesterday a new speech and language pathologist, and we could afford probably 1 or 2 more. It seems like there's certain departments at certain times of the year that we're kind of, like, certainly within mental health we could use more manpower, within speech pathology more manpower, but the other departments are going well.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
What are the current needs and wants for this organization?
Well, like I said, we have to really rely on other ways to augment revenue stream. So doing the fundraising, like I said, is really important for us. Doing the grant writing is really important to us to maintain our viability. We have to really think about those things. So we're always looking for creative ways to fundraise. We're always looking for creative ways to grant write that'll stand out different from everybody else, because we're all going after the same dollars.
It's competitive.
Yes, yes. So I think those are our challenges at this time.
Good. Are there opportunities for folks to get involved here? Do you accept volunteers?
We do. We actually not only volunteers, but we serve as a practicum site for this semester. I think we have 16 students with us that are majoring in different things. Some of them are pursuing, master's degrees in OT. Some are pursuing a bachelor's degree in early childhood special education. So we don't want to be the best kept secret. And a lot of the students that come here are really learning about a service delivery model that we're proud of, and we want to get out there. We also have students from area high schools that have to do community service hours as part of their curriculum, or some of the local colleges too. So we'll have them come in and volunteer some of their services. We have a gentleman that comes in every Thursday morning and volunteers his time and reads to the children in our classrooms, and we love that. We are always thankful for volunteer service. When we get calls, we always can find work for people to do. In June, Liberty Mutual is going to be doing a week-long event called Liberty Serves, and they volunteer some of their employees to go, just do work at some nonprofit agencies, and we're always very grateful for that.
Are you currently looking for any board members?
We don't have necessarily. Yes, I guess my answer would be yes to that. We would love to recruit another board member or 2 board members. We're always looking at the kind of skills. When you design a board, you're kind of looking to see if you've got representation in finance and representation in public relations and fundraising and long-term planning, those kinds of things. So we recently just came off a strategic planning session, our board did, and we did actually talk about adding to our board by maybe having 1 or 2 other professionals come on.
Any particular area that you're of interest of them?
We're pretty well. We've got some good finance people on our board. Marketing, we've got some good representation there. I wouldn't say there's one area that at this point we're just really looking strong at. We do have a pretty well-rounded board, but we think that more manpower would be great.
Correct.
So
Sure.
I think we'd be open to just about anything right now.
Great. Well, it was nice interviewing you. It was
Thank you.
wonderful information. Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time and coming and learning more about Sandcastle.
Yeah, it's a wonderful program.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.